Yo, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Monday edition of the Apex Brotherhood Live. My name is Richard, and I'm joined today by William Davies, the founder. How are you, William?
Hello, I'm good, mate. What's news?
Not too shabby, nice, not too shabby.
Good morning.
Everybody in chat, we'll have a very quick disclaimer, and then we'll get straight into the action. All right, there we go, mate.
Well, hello.
Dude, I was just telling you a little bit about my weekend. Yesterday we had zero electricity because the municipality decided to replace a mini sub on a Sunday, and they didn't notify us. So no electricity the whole day. Couldn't schedule anything, couldn't do any of the work that I had intended to do on Sunday. So this is going to be a busy Monday for me today. I've been working with a bunch of stuff here in the background to try and, get my week sorted, which is usually what a Sunday is for. But oh well, it is what it is.
Cool, my tabs are really bright. I've just opened up some of my new tabs and I'm being blinded. That's better. Dude, that's so annoying. I hate it when that happens. But
it is very annoying.
Yeah, it is what it is, though, mate. It's frustrating. Yeah. No one wants that sort of roadblock in the way, and you hate to have to take a detour and extend your day by an extra 24 hours. But sometimes life throws you a curveball. It's how you deal with it. It's how you move on from that. That makes you the successful person you are. When God gives you a set of cards, you just got to play the hand.
Yeah, that is true. The only like annoying thing about all of it was the fact that it didn't feel like my weekend had closed properly.
Yeah.
So the whole week and weekend it just felt as though the weekend never happened. It just felt like it just continued with the week. So there wasn't that like official cut off to say, okay, cool, this is the end of the weekend. This is the end of the week, starting a new week. This is how we're going to do it, so on and so forth. And it just was a little bit annoying. It's very, very annoying.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's annoying when it happens, but like I said, just try and reset yourself,
I'm just quickly replying to a message from Jonathan. Give me a second, mate.
Sweet, no problem. Oh, in fact, Jonathan needs to message me. He hasn't messaged me yet. I'm still waiting on a message from him. But good morning, people. How are we doing? Sorry, I just saw I saw a very important document on my desk that I needed to put in my file. I thought, if I don't put it in now, I don't think I'm ever going to put it in. So I've put it in now. But good morning, guys. How are we doing on this fantastic Monday? I hope you are all well. If you haven't already, make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. It does mean a lot to us. Let's get a screen share up into ours. Shut mine up. So mine's looking a little different today. There we go. Yes, the mine's looking a little different today. You can see it looks a little bit bigger. I'm on my top screen because for some reason it's not recognizing it as its own verified document on or verified screen share. So I don't know what's going on. Only a minor technical difficulty today. So let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know if my camera's okay. Let me know if my Wi-Fi is all good, and make sure you can see my screen, because every Monday I seem to get some form of technical difficulties, but we seem to be all good today. So let me know how we get on. Right then, let's have a look. So gold is looking really nice. So we've got a couple of areas on gold. We had this area here, which we broke out of really nicely. Pulled back, consolidated a little bit. So we're currently in this consolidation zone here. Little bit curious to see what's going on with these wicks. We've got these double wicks to the upside, double wicks to the upside. Jumping up to the 50-minute. I'm doing like a down-top analysis, not a top-down analysis.
Down.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, really
Got
nice
my undivided attention now. I've my thing is sorted. Excellent.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Awesome stuff. I was just doing a bit of a down top analysis.
Down top.
Yes.
All right.
So yeah, there we go. Just looking at gold at the moment. Nice little break and close above this area. See if I can draw a straight line straight out the gate. Like, what's it doing?
I also get to have my very first look at the market this morning. Didn't look at the market at all.
Look at the market now. There we go, perfect. There you go, nice little break and close above. Little bit worrying on the almost going to be triple wicks on the 15-minute to the upside, but I kind of want to see a break and retest this zone here before continuing up. We seem to be shifting that direction. We came down to this area here on gold, and we tested it absolutely perfectly. Why did it move up? There we go. So we tested it absolutely perfectly before then breaking structure to the upside. It looks really good, but I'm not 100% sure.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for buys?
Potentially, mate. But, like I said, it looks like it's setting up for some buy positions, but why did it just change from a straight line to a fucking crooked line? There we go. I hate it when it does that. It's like, oh, we're just going to change the line. It's like, you drew a straight line, but we decided we don't want to be straight anymore. It came out of the closet on me. All right, there we go. So, gold, I'm potentially going to be looking at buys. We are in a downtrend at the moment. The overall trend is bearish. We have this momentum as push to the upside, pull back. Even on the 1 hour time frame, we have put in an official higher low. On the lower time frames, we're putting in a higher high, but I want to see what we're going to do as price matures. So right as of now, we could have found a really nice buy position here. It would have been a 1-to-1? Yes, we would have had a 1-to-1 trade on gold here. We wouldn't have had a 1-to-2. So if we think about the break and close, we broke and close on this candle here. Stops would have been at the low down here, and that would have been 74. And like I said, break and close, 74 would have been here. So we would have been looking for, we would have been looking for a TP up this area here for a 1-to-2, which would have been the high of this wick. So it looked nice, great opportunity to buy, but again, I'm going to wait for price to mature a little bit. I kind of want to see price pull back and continue up. So the two different ways that I'm looking at trading price here is something a little bit like this. Or just straight up, we've got the move and we want to move from here. But I'm not sure. We got to wait and see what price does. It could just completely reverse from here and move down. If it does, obviously I'm not going to be buying because I'm a reactive trader, not a predictive trader. But that is what I'm seeing in gold at the moment. Let's have a quick catch up with chat, and then I shall hand the reins over to Rich, and he can do a bit of a top down on his chart, see what he's seeing. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. MGN coming out this morning. Good morning. Good morning, MGN. How you doing, bro? Good to see you in. Infinity, good morning, guys. Yes, Infinity. How is thy? Bobby Fisher, good morning. Good morning, Bobby. And can I just say a big welcome to the Apex Brotherhood group. Bobby, it is great to see you in, my man. EU pushing crazy. What happened? It's, I don't know. That's a great question, mate.
We'll get into EU in a moment, but I have an idea of what's going on.
EU. Oh, there we go then. I'll tell you what, wow, it is pushing. We shall leave that and see what Richard Butler thinks of it. Annie, how you doing, Annie? Good. Hi, fellas. Good morning, mate. Good morning to you. How you doing? Pooley, yes, Pooley. Good morning, all. How you doing? I hope you've recovered after the Poker Night Friday, Pooley. Hope you're all gravy, baby, and had a great weekend. Keenan, what's good, man? Good morning, everyone. Yes, bro. Good to see you in. Thank you for joining us. And HK, yes, HK. Good to see you coming in to the Apex stream regularly now. That's super cool to see. Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, my man. Richard, how is that?
I am a little bit frazzled, mate. Not gonna lie. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in the background, so we have a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff going on. All right. Anyway. All right. So EU. We want to have a quick little gander at EU. Yes. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Let's look at EU and GU. So technically, both of them are doing something similar at the moment. So if I just show you both charts, this is the hourly chart. Both of them are doing something quite similar, where we've just opened up now on the London session, and we're getting a bit of a push. Now, the thing about EU and GU is, after a week, let's say like Friday, where we've had strong dollar news, like not strong dollar, but like a lot of dollar news. So unemployment claims, CPI, PMI, all of those things kind of like started dwindling out the end of the week. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we started getting more dollar news. After a very long period of zero or very minimal dollar news. Mondays generally has a volatile push of some sort. So it's either going to be, we found some negative news from the dollar, and then you'll start seeing pound and euro start climbing in the initial stages of London, as London is opening up its doors to the stocks and whatnot. So that is what's happening now at the moment. If we just have a look at dollar, at pound from last week. So this is the daily chart. We have a very clear downtrend on the last few weeks, where it's clearly been pushing lower. And then the last 2 weeks or so, let's say last month or whatnot, the last 2 weeks or so, we started getting a bit of resistance, trying to push lower. So we're not really making a new low in relation to the previous one. So we had a double low. This was Wednesday, the 5th and 4th of November. We started pushing away from it. First volumetric push away. We attempted to come back down last week Wednesday. Last week Wednesday was it was a news day on the pound and on the dollar. Pushed price lower. And then for the rest of the week, Thursday, Friday, we attempted to start pushing higher. Now today, we have technically a bullish day, but it is weak. We took last week Friday's high. We didn't test last week Friday's low, but last week Friday and Thursday had effectively a double low, which to me signifies the potential for us to start pushing up from here. Couple that with the fact that we had this low over here, which was tested, but never completely filled. If we go down to the 4 hour, we can see that last week, Wednesday, this was that low point that I'm referring to. You can see that the last attempt that we had to try and push lower, so you have this absolute sell-off, bit of a attempt to push it higher by the bulls, then a re-attempt to push it lower by the bears, which fails, and then we started moving volumetrically up, started getting a lot more bullish momentum in after this absolute sell-off. Now, if I just take that last attempt, this is on the 4 hour, if I take that last attempt to try and push lower, where we started having a reaction, so you can almost think of this as an order block. If I just pull it through, you'll notice that last week Thursday and last week Friday we just wicked in to that order block and then had a reaction, attempt to push lower, another reaction. So basically we are reacting off of this order block over here, which broke that downward push, that strong volumetric downward push that we had all the way from over here, more towards the left as well. But you kind of get the idea, where it's one of the first times where we don't have a follow-up down push by the bears, where we actually have a little bit of indecision, a little bit of we don't quite know where we want to push it, waiting for news. So the whole week and the whole week leading up to last week and the whole of last week, we effectively had this indecision, don't quite know where to go. Then the pound and dollar news came out, started pushing the price a little bit lower, but just no want nor desire to push lower than this specific box. And now we wicked into it on Friday, started pushing up, a little bit of consolidation, and then it seems as though there might be a fresh attempt to start pushing it higher from this point. Now, that's what I'm thinking is happening at the moment. Is it's either we are still stuck with the idea of we don't quite know where we want to go. If we have a look at the news, tomorrow we have core PPI and retail sales for the dollar. We also have unemployment claims on Wednesday. We have GDP. We have the core PCE as well on Wednesday, because Thursday we have a bank holiday for the US. And then we don't really have a lot of news. We don't have any news on Friday for the dollar. So for me, this just means that we are trying to take advantage of the fact that there's potentially weak dollar news coming out. Because when we had the opportunity with the news to push it lower with dollar strength, it couldn't pierce this point. And the reattempt on Friday with Friday's news also was short-lived. So I'm seeing the potential for us to start pushing a little bit higher on the pound, though I think it's going to be very short-lived. I don't think that we're going to really go above this area over here. I cannot see us really jump higher than this, which is 13.16 and 13.17.
I reckon we're going to reject a little bit lower, if you ask me.
There is a potential to reject lower from over here.
Yeah.
Because we've missed this rejection over here. So we can come and test this. But apart from this over here, I don't think this is going to get broken. Even with news coming out, I don't see this potentially being broken. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing on pound. If I go down to the 15-minute, you can see it a little bit more. You can see here was the news, the reaction slowed at this base area of mine, pushed up, but very little follow through. What we had was like a slow dredge up, not a volumetric, we know where we want to go movement. And then the whole of this morning as well, we just barely wicked last week's highs and then had a bit of a sell-off. And now with the opening of the London session, we started with an attempt to push higher. But now these movements, or movements like these, are generally movements that are left over from last week. So it's the people rocking up in the morning saying, okay, I'm seeing something, I'm going to buy. So pound is seeing something, or let's say the London exchanges, or the exchanges that are open during this time, or open up at the same time during London, are seeing the same thing. There's a potential to want to push the price higher. Now, on the flip side, this can absolutely just fail. We can just try and push above this point over here and then just sell off. As it stands right now, I don't think that this is any sort of concern move. I don't think that this is necessarily going to have a massive follow-up. I think that there's going to be a little bit of indecision here, because the start of any session, you have orders that were left over specifically on, or particularly on Monday, from the previous week that just didn't get filled or were waiting to get filled. And then come Monday, we start having reactions like this. So I'm just going to wait for pound to show it wants to continue moving higher. And if so, then I will get into a trade on pound for a potential buy. EU, I feel like we had very, very strong downward push over the longest time as well, but a more clear structure in relation to that of the pound. The pound had some. If you just look at the daily, no, actually on the daily it looks pretty good. Straight down and then some indecision now, but on euro you're doing the same thing. You're pushing lower, making higher lows, lower lows, lower highs, sorry, and you're pushing down again. And now you've gotten to the point where you are making a higher low in relation to the previous one, much like what happened over here between these two. So I'm foreseeing a bit of bullish momentum potentially coming through on euro as well. So long downward push for 5 days, and now we're struggling to make lower lows yet again. Attempt to push up again from here. We wicked in, started reacting off of it. I want to see us come up to this point over here on the 4 hourly to come and test that. If I break down to the hourly, the reason I'm saying this area over here is because this was the last time we had like a real downward push. We attempted to push up, we failed. We already took some liquidity over here. We already took a little bit more liquidity over there. This seems like the next logical area for price to come and test.
Either that, but if you look immediately to the left, you can see that imbalance.
You mean this area right here?
Yeah. So you've got that imbalance zone there, plus you've got the consolidation overall to the left as well.
Yeah, you do. But
so I reckon this is like the last area of hold. Like this is the last high of defense, though the last supply of defense. If we can't hold this area, then I think we're gonna aim up to your 4 hour sort of supply zone. So I've marked it up on my 1 hour area here. So these are the two areas I've marked up. So we've got this low, we've got this high. This is everything inside. This is like 1 hour sort of infrastructure. So everything inside here isn't really doing much with it, like from the 1 hour above. So we got high, low, consolidation. We got this imbalance just in here. And we've wicked above all of this. Then if we can hold this, consolidate, and then break and close lower, then I think this is where we're going to move down from. If we break and close above this previous high here, then I want to see what it's going to do at this sort of consolidation high or this supply zone.
Yeah, the thing is, like, where we are now, like, okay, this area that I just marked up, we do have a base drop over here, which is we're about to come and test it, but that's on the 15-minute. And that is after we had this upward dredge slowly pushing higher, and then we had reactionary push lower. But this was news. This was a news day. This was everybody being in anticipation of the New York news coming out. And now that we finally have news coming out, and pushing it lower and attempting to push lower even further and then failing and then kind of like dredging up and now having this reaction, it does not really feel as though we would have this downward push anymore. It does feel as though we want to attempt to push higher and at least come and try and test this last swing area over here. These two areas where we are currently. If we can break through, retest and continue higher, then that would be great. But the same thing, we can also just sell off from here, exactly like you said. There is the potential for price to react from this area as well. As it stands right now, I'm a little bit more bullish. I would want to see these areas tested first. I would want to see price just push up a little bit, but that's the thing. You never quite know whether or not it's impulsive move or if it's exactly what the market really wants. Does the market really want to start pushing higher? Does it want to push lower? Like said, we're just waiting for it.
Yeah, the way we moved up. Oh man, I don't know. I think it was just too instantly bullish for us to have this, I think this is just too much of an impulse move. You know, we had that massive move up with the wick above. We didn't close it. We just wicked above. And then we've got another big push up, which we're wicking and struggling to push it much higher. You know, prices really slowed down. That's another 15 anyway. Is that we're going to 5?
I mean, if I'm on the 4 hourly, I can see why we started pushing up from this point, where the news could not push it lower. On I have an area here on the 4 hourly at 114.95 to 114.72. With the news that we had on Friday, it could not push through. There was no follow-up.
Yeah, the 4 hour time frame looks good for that push up, but I can't see a reason on a lower time frame.
Yeah. I'm just like, you're saying you think it's more of an impulsive. I'm saying it looks good for me based on the fact that we had this reaction off of a base or an order block, let's rather say.
Yeah.
Where use could not push it through it.
But that goes to show, you know, like we trade very similarly. We have very similar strategies, and it goes to show, like, you're seeing this as a nice potential move to the upside. You're looking at this as a bullish move, whereas I'm looking at this being like, I'm staying out.
Yeah. No, I think there is validity in the potential for it to push lower, because we are bearish. We've been bearish for the longest time. When we've had opportunity to try and push it higher, we failed. If I just add the 200 EMA on the 1 hour, there is a potential for us to come and retest this 200 EMA as an example. By the time that it reaches this point, it's going to be perfectly in line with this. If we go down to the 15-minute, obviously, this 15-minute base area of mine, or this area of interest. So price may as well literally do this, coming into this area, and then decide on a reaction, you know? So I'm not opposed.
Yeah, no.
I'm definitely not opposed to the idea of buys.
No, I totally agree. I fully agree with you. I think it's got to move a little bit higher. You know, I do full out agree with you there.
But yeah, it's one of those where we have to wait and see how it's going to react. As it stands right now, if I go down to the 5-minute, there's follow through. On the 5-minute, we're pushing higher. We're trying. There's very little bearish structure here. It's all bullish. Yes, we slowed down a little bit, took all of it. Now we're another brand new candle, and we're attempting to push higher. So Mondays is a weird day, mate. Like, you know this. Like, Mondays can be a continuation of what happened Friday, or it can absolutely just decide it doesn't want to do anything that you want, and then just completely go against you very, very quickly. So I get it. I understand there's going to be some differences on Monday.
Yeah, Mondays and Fridays, man. I hate them.
I mean, I don't mind buys, but personally, I would love to see sells from this point. And if not from here, from the one just above it. I would like to see us continue pushing lower on euro, and on as well. I would love to see, like, see now this on the 15-minute. This is now screaming, I want to push lower, because we did not wick higher than this previous wick. Strong one candle on the 15-minute, no follow through. And we're losing momentum on the MACD. We're losing momentum on the, if I just switch on all of the EMAs, it's all within the same area. Yes, we had a reaction on the 200 EMA like we did over here, but it's so slowed. Where's the follow through? Screaming, we may just potentially start pushing lower from here. Go on to the 5. Same thing. Yeah. We have this consolidation over here on the 5-minute. We've literally just wicked above it, but we haven't made a new high. We haven't pushed above this last high point, and now we're starting to push lower. We're probably going to take all of this upward pressure away now, all of it.
Yeah, it's the same with gold, man. Gold is just a bit in the middle of nowhere. So EU for me is like, nah, I'm out. You know, I'm not interested in EU. I can see why you would be, but for me, I don't like how it was very much bearish, and then it just slammed the handbrake up and like just U-turned and put its foot on the throttle. That sort of made me think, okay, what's it doing here? You know, we were quite bearish. We were moving down. The momentum was there. It was looking good. And then out of nowhere, in fact, you had your drop-based drop theory. So we had, what am I doing? So we had this consolidation, pull down, and then you had your base here. So you had your drop, your base, and then continuation drop. We had a really nice bear candle close. And when you look at this price structure here, it just doesn't, I can't see why it would want to.
That's EU.
Yeah, no.
No. Sorry, I was looking at GU while you were marking, and I was like, I don't see.
Oh, sorry. I thought you're like, well, that's EU.
That's why I had to look. Like, oh, okay, no, you,
sorry, mate.
Yeah.
So
the issue that I had with that one is just with EU is just we were overwhelmingly bullish on during Tokyo with very little indication of wanting to push lower. So it did feel like it was a bit too impulsive to try and push lower from here, where we didn't really test any sort of structure above it.
Yeah, interesting, mate. It's interesting. It is interesting. I think I can't see why we'd want to push up from where we were at so impulsively on EU as well. However, we got a beautiful close on that 15 minutes. So I mean, technically, I don't like this. This is the only thing I don't like on EU. I don't like this area here. However, you know, if we had this consolidation, a couple of wicks under here where we started to hold, and then like had the bullish move up from here, then I'd be like, hell yeah, let's buy EU. This is looking good. But it's just this area that's worrying me a little bit. So I'm out of EU. GU is doing nothing. GU hasn't quite decided what it wants to do. I think I want to see it come up to 31,406 and then drop. So up, consolidate, and then drop. I think that's what I'd like to see. But can it drop from here? I mean, we've wicked above this previous high, but we are in a consolidation zone. Gold, I think, is what I want to see. But again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks to the upside on the 15-minute. Drop down onto the 5-minute. You know, we've come down nicely into this area here. Moved up, consolidated, big bull move up, double wick, consolidation. So for me, I'd want to see a break and close above.
I agree with you. I want to see buys on gold.
Yeah, but without that break and close above, I don't think we're going to see much. So the thing is, do I want to break and close above here, or do I want to break and close above here?
I've been using the Tokyo session as basically as a benchmark for what I want to see the rest of the day,
really?
Do. Yeah, purely because of the fact that you have China, you have Russia, you have India, you have Australia, all of those like big countries that are like buying up gold or like putting reserve gold into their coffers, you know. And you would see a lot of interest in gold during the Tokyo session, which is where those countries are most active. So if they're really buying to hold, then you'll see the reaction during Tokyo, as an example. And if they're selling off or trying to get rid of, as an example, then you'll see the reaction there as well. And then kind of the rest of the day follows that ideal. So you get to see where they really were interested in buying gold and where they weren't. So when price does come back to those areas where there was interest, you'll start seeing a reaction off of it. And the exact same thing happened last week on Friday. The same thing happened during Thursday. Same thing happened on Wednesday. Every day, you're using the bottom end of Tokyo as an area of interest. and then you react off of that area. And then during New York session, you may come back to that area and then react off of it again. So if you just go back and you kind of have a look at the Tokyo sessions highs and lows, and then you see how gold reacted over those times, it looks interesting. So there's a potential that we could come back to last week Friday's lows on gold, though I'm not sure, because we've already during Tokyo this morning had multiple attempts to try and push lower and just no follow through to try and push price lower. So are we going to try and test higher? There's a potential. How high? I don't know. There was a nice reaction last week Friday. There was a really proper reaction on Thursday morning as well as Wednesday evening. Proper sell-off areas. But now we're not pushing as volumetrically lower. I don't think we're going to test 4K flat today or throughout the rest of today. I don't think so.
Yeah, well, that's a fair bit to get. That's like $62 to
$62. I honestly think that we're going to attempt to try and push higher from here. How high? Maybe 4,100. So 4,100.
I have 4,100 in my head. So I've marked out this low at 4,101. So which is $40,101. Dollars. Per ounce. So that's the high that I've marked out up here, which is 4,101.
Before we can test that, I think that we need to break through. What is this? 4084 and 4090. We need to come and break through that, because that was the last time that we had like real proper reaction. And then a little bit lower on the 15-minute, we also have a little bit of consolidation at the highs of today. There we
here?
No. Yeah, just above it on the left.
Oh, here.
Left. Yeah, a little bit higher than that. There's that little bit of that's the start of the day. That little area there. So there is the potential, because you've already had basically a break from the open of the day. You've had a break lower, then a retest, and then a strong volumetric move lower from there as well. And then consolidation, attempt to push higher, more consolidation, and now actual follow through to push higher. So that is the immediate test area, and it's only $7 away. So it's a $7 potential movement that needs to be tested. $7 per ounce on gold. And then we can see what kind of reaction we're going to have from there.
Interesting.
EU is slowing down its momentum, pushing higher. We're getting a little bit of flatness above. GU, the same thing. We started pushing lower after this push up. We had an attempt to push higher, and it seems as though it's failing a little bit. We'll have to wait and see how it's going to react when it actually starts pushing lower from here. I understand this area that you had on the left was a little bit of consolidation. We have wicked above that area 3 times though. So it's making me wonder how valid the consolidation is. Is the consolidation valid, or is it more the swing high that is valid?
I'm just testing my lighting. I want to see if I can get something a bit more consistent. Is that better? What's that like for lighting? Is that a bit better? So I've got 3 spotlights up here.
Yeah.
And I've closed my window so we're not getting that change in lighting, but then I've turned my ring light down. Is that a bit more consistent, or?
I think you're getting way more of like that's better. This is better.
That's more better now.
This is way better. Where it blends the front of your face with what's happening behind you, so it's way more consistent. Where if you only had to like this view,
better.
Yeah, this is better.
Okay, sweet, awesome stuff. Okay, so now I know that I can actually get away with these lights. I'll put that on a warmer setting and then turn it up a little bit. So this looks good now, guys.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
Perfect. Okay. Because it was starting to frustrate me. Like, it was absolutely hammering down with rain earlier, and I thought I'll leave the window open, or like leave the blinds open, and then it stopped raining, and I could see it slowly getting brighter, and I thought, I just know for a fact the minute I get onto the Fiverr stream, like the sun will come out, and then it'll be like glaring in my face, and I thought, I really can't be bothered for all that. Let's see. Zix coming out. Good morning, Zix. How you doing, man? Pooley, great poker night with you all Friday. Great banter, just what I needed to wind down after a hectic week. Dude, that's awesome. That's what I like to hear. Cobus, good morning. Good morning, Cobus. How you doing? Okay, thanks. EU lows looking more strong. I would look for a continuation to the upside, but I'm not going to react now. Yeah, 100%, man. Let us know how you get on in the Discord as well, dude.
Yeah, on EU, I want to be broken.
Yeah, literally that. Gold stalling a little bit at the moment in a long from 40.52. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, nice, man. Really nice. So I would have been you were at the low, I would have been at that high. Yeah, bang on there. That's exactly where I would have been putting on an order. So, dude, that's a really nice trade on gold, Cobus. Hope that goes your way, my man. Sigma FX trading. Yo, what's good, Sigma FX? Good morning. Good morrow to you, sir. How is that? Is that 1-to-1 or 1-to-2?
This is it's a 1-to-1.3, but if I go with my normal gold, that is what I would have wanted on gold as an example, a 1-to-2, but it's too high. This area blocks me, and we didn't get the reaction that I would have wanted. The consolidation is fine, and then strong volumetric attempt, and then a push, but this is in the way.
Yeah.
Especially after we've already had one.
Yeah, I literally about to say it's that wick into it as well.
This is an ugly wick, especially with the reaction that happened on it. It's a strong reaction from this wick. I don't know if this was used because it's got a massive wick above and below, but we have JPY bank holiday today.
Do we?
Yeah. Yeah, like there wasn't any news on the calendar.
How interesting.
No news that is like really screaming at me. So yeah, but we had this potential indecision, like massive. This is on the 5 minute, so massive wick above, massive wick below, and then just a sizable candle in relation to the movement that we had just prior to it. But then we started selling off convincingly. A little bit of consolidation over here, indecision, but then another sell-off, an attempt to push higher over here, another sell-off, and then over here, it seems as though there was no more interest to sell, and then we started to push up, an attempt to push lower yet again, short-lived, a lot of indecision, a lot of slowed downward momentum. We actually wicked lower than this previous swing over here. We wicked lower, didn't really have the reaction. Strong attempt yet again, absolutely failed, and then started pushing up. So I'm seeing us potentially come and test this, but maybe we can find a little bit of a clearer on the 5 minute. I think is maybe the most clear. So maybe something like this. But yeah, I think gold can come and test this, definitely. Purely from the fact that we had this attempt to push lower, failure, push a little bit higher, higher low, higher high in relation to the previous one, reattempt, a lot of consolidation, lot of indecision, sideways action, and then an attempt to push higher. Another indecision point in this area over here with consolidation, attempt to push higher, a bit of consolidation yet again, maybe a bit of a push higher. So maybe that's what we're going to see today, a little bit of consolidation, push higher, a little bit of consolidation, push higher, a little bit of consolidation, push higher, that kind of like thing.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm literally just looking at the break and close above now. We're starting to move a little bit higher, which is nice. If we can break and close above it, I'm going to consider buying this.
Let's see how what it reacted off of in this area. What is this? Right. No, not really. Gold is in a funny place for me at the moment.
I could see. Yeah, I can see why. I know what you mean.
We've had a lot of sideways action the last few. Well, when I say sideways, I mean just when we start getting like momentum to push higher, it gets taken back again. Pushes lower. So there's no clear directional movement for me. If I go over to the daily, it's the same thing on the daily as well. We all-time highs, push out of it, going lower strongly, reattempt to push higher, fail, push lower, made effectively an attempt to push lower, which failed, started pushing higher, attempt to push lower, and now it's just kind of like stuck here. Like very, very little directional, and it's a massive range. That's the issue as well. It's like that's $110 where it's just indecisive. It's not quite showing us which direction we want to go. But you can trade $100 like on per fine ounce, that kind of like thing. You can get proper good trades within that area, but you have to get it the right spot. You have to get it at the right area.
Yeah.
So right now, sideways on the daily, sideways on the 4 hourly as well. Just sitting in this area at the moment. On the hourly as well. Just sitting in this bracket. It looks better when you zoom in, but when you've zoomed out, it doesn't look...
No, it just looks in the middle of nowhere sort of thing. It's like that and an hour in between something.
You do have that area over there. Price reacted out of it on Friday. Consolidated, added, starts moving.
We have put in a higher low, mind. If you look at it, with that box that you've marked out, yeah, exactly. That is a higher low.
Yeah, then that's definitely true.
If you drop onto the 15-minute as well, we can see that it was rejected, moved up, came back down to retest it, wicked it, and then moved up and broke structure and changed the directional trend.
Here's where it really happened.
Yeah.
This is the move. Because we actually broke higher, though we closed strongly, but then we lost all momentum yet again and then started pushing lower during the end of the day. But like you're saying, the reaction that we had in this area down here, where we tried to push lower, we had one reaction and then effectively a higher low, then a nice push, which had followed. But now,
even when we lost full momentum, like we came up to that big bull close, like you said, really strong close, and then we pulled all the way back down, almost to the low. Keep going.
Over here.
There you go. Yeah, we pulled all the way down to that low there, and then moved on up. We put in that official higher low, and now we're starting to move a little bit higher. So it didn't make me feel awful seeing that. It did come all the way down to that low. I thought, okay, that is... Price has tried to move lower there, but it was nothing to the point that I was too concerned at.
I think that this is the most probable direction.
We got the business climate in 9 minutes.
Yeah, I want to see this broken. I want to see this. Then we know that we're going to potentially start pushing higher yet again. But once again, the same thing. We're getting these moves. It gets taken back. We get another move. It gets taken back. It's very much still... it's within between 2 points. We're not rallying as volumetrically as we did a few weeks ago. It's really struggling. What if we're going to have sideways action? It's just going to trudge between the 4,000 and the 4,100 mark, or the 4,000 and the 4,200 mark. It's just going to be jumping between this $200 per fine ounce section.
Yeah, don't forget as well. We're going into December price, so we're going into like holiday price action. So we may just flatline for the rest of the month. That is a high possibility that price may just want to do nothing until January now. Like gold especially, people may be just sort of not necessarily taken out of gold, but they may be just leaving gold alone, waiting until sort of January time, mid-January, and then starting to reinvest in gold.
I agree. I think that there's potentially that, like we had that, we're investing, we're putting all of our resources into gold. Now we're waiting. There was a little bit of sell-off here and there, trying to get a better price, rebought, but now it's kind of like we're teetering. We're like, let's wait. Let's be patient. That's kind of like where we are right now. I'm not saying the bull run is over, but I do think that
it's exhausted.
It's exhausted at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tired. People are like, oh, do we really want to buy at this price? This seems a little excessive. Let's push a little bit lower. It's the same with crypto at the moment. Bitcoin has absolutely tanked over the last while. After an amazing absolute run up, this is in 2021. We sold off, started pushing up, gaining a bit more momentum. You're getting more people invested in it. A little bit of consolidation, push up, attempt to push lower, another push up. This is the biggest drop off we've seen in a while on Bitcoin. But I don't think it's the idea that Bitcoin's bull run is over. I just think that they're just repositioning for a bit of a better price to try and reinvigorate the market, getting more people invested in buying up more Bitcoin, and then pushing it higher.
I don't think Bitcoin will ever fail its bull run. I think Bitcoin will forever have a bull run. Part of me thinks that people are going to start using it as like the next gold investment sort of coin. But the UK is doing something with Bitcoin at the moment as well to limit its holding.
But that's shady, mate. I read up about that. That seems
shady. I know. I can't see the validity in it. I know our potential next political leader wants to hold Bitcoin in a reserve as well, so he's keen. He wants to bring Bitcoin into the UK. He wants to bring the UK into the sort of crypto space. But I don't know. I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of if buts and maybes with Bitcoin over the next couple of years. I think we're 10 years early. Does that make sense?
The only issue
not
not
as an investor point of view, but as a point of globally understanding what Bitcoin truly is. I think we're 10 years early.
The thing is, what was the intention behind Bitcoin from the beginning? It was to have freedom and financial freedom at that back in the hands of the people. Supposed to be decentralized. It was supposed to be outside of the, let's say, the overlord governing bodies, that the same way that banks were being governed and whatnot, which we saw a lot of manipulation obviously happening there. That was the intention. But what happened? It got to the point where Bitcoin was outperforming every single other asset on Earth. The exponential growth. So what happened? We got governments involved. We got big hedge funds involved. We got all of the people with the actual capital. We got them involved, or they became involved. And now it's gotten to the point where they are the majority holders. They're the ones that are buying up the most. They're the ones that are holding it. They're taking away the potential financial freedom that individuals could have had, such as ourselves, as an example. Which is completely counter to what they intended Bitcoin to be.
Yeah.
Now,
true.
Governments want to turn it into another safe haven currency for reserve. So they want to buy it up and hold it so that they themselves are the controllers of it. So, to me, Bitcoin has lost its purpose. Bitcoin, to me, is no longer what it was intended from the beginning, which is the freedom for the people rather than the governments and the banking industry and stuff like that. It's going to do the same thing now. They're going to try and force people to limit the amount of Bitcoin that they're allowed to have, or limit the amount of crypto that they're allowed to have, like what's happening in the UK at the moment, or what they're trying to propose, let's rather say, which is going to lead to people being forced to sell, or it's going to lead to people being forced to no longer be able to invest more into crypto, as an example. Why? So that they can create liquidity. They can create more opportunity for the government to buy up. So it's like putting in legislation saying you're only allowed to have one car. If you have 2 or 3 cars, you must sell your other 2 cars.
Yeah.
And then the government buys up those cars, they appreciate, and then, well, lo and behold,
I can't see that working though, man. I can't see how that would happen.
To me, it seems shady, man.
Yeah,
It really does.
Having
It's
said that
shady.
though, I think most activities going on in the UK at the moment is shady. So, I don't know.
Let's see what people are saying in chat. Bobby Fisher says, what makes you feel that the price is strong? Let's say the best case scenario that you can trust more Rich and Will in terms of strength and weakness. So the outlook is usually the thing that people look at. They kind of like look at how one currency is. So if we just look at news as an example. So when we look at GU, EU, yen, pound, that kind of like stuff, we're generally looking at one currency versus another and how those 2 countries, their macroeconomic circumstances are like in relation to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you do that with gold? What is gold's underlying competitor? What is gold's underlying value? Other than the fact that it is precious metal, it's a rare precious metal, and it's deemed valuable, and there's a certain quantity of it that can be held. So you can have monopolies basically for gold. Yes, it's a semiconductor and all of those kind of like stuff, but where's the competitor for gold whatsoever? The only competitor for gold is something like Bitcoin. I mean,
unless you're gonna look at other to be fair, unless you're gonna look at other precious metals, for example, silver, or you got the S&P, you got the S&P 500.
But the S&P is companies. It's
industries. Yeah, true. So it's as far as safe havens, like there's still safe havens. Yeah. But true that.
Other investment medium do we have currently that fulfills the same role that gold is fulfilling in terms of this is a buy and hold asset, and it's not really reliant on any specific country's macroeconomic movements. If the dollar is weak, gold is going to go up. Let me preface that again. If the dollar is weak, you will still see gold doing its movement.
Yeah,
gold
will still move, whether no matter what currency is weak.
No matter which currency is weak and which currency is strong, gold is going to move.
Yeah, like there's so many people have said to me in the past.
In one country, it's not directly linked to one specific group of businesses, as an example.
Yeah,
everybody's investing in gold, so all of the currencies or all of the countries are having an impact on whether or not gold is appreciating or depreciating.
Yeah.
What other app that does that? It's just Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose true that.
That's why I'm saying, like, I feel like in this scenario, for the price to start, getting stronger, is the fact that currencies overall it's all over the place. It's up, it's down, it's left, it's right. It's this country is doing strongly against that country, and it's all over the place. When you look at the investment assets, gold, Bitcoin, some of the precious metals and stuff like that, I think that those assets are just going to carry on appreciating at some point. Specifically because we have the amount of investment that we have from all of the countries that are buying up all of the gold, as much gold as they can, as reserve currency. We're buying up as much Bitcoin as we can. Countries want to make it reserve currency. That's why I'm saying, like, those things are going to strengthen based on the fact that there's such a strong push.
Yeah. Do you not think it's it's a bubble that'll pop? Do you not think that it'll be
There's always a bubble that's going to pop at some point.
true that?
The
True
question
that.
is only, what is going to be the prick? What's going to be that little pin that's going to make the bubble burst? What
Or
is
do,
the
or do you reckon it'll just fizzle out? Because how many things have we had come into investing, into the internet, into these sorts of things that just sort of came in like a bat out of hell, said I'm here, and then just sort of fizzled out and got forgotten?
a fair few. There's definitely a fair few. But consider this: gold was the medium, the currency of trade.
Well, gold
standard.
was, and in my opinion, forever will be the start of currency.
Yeah, but I mean, we had it as the global, basically, currency.
It still is. But that's what I mean. Like we're debating the idea of Bitcoin,
going
through
to the fiat currencies and whatnot. But guess where we are? Gold is way stronger now that it wasn't considered anymore like the primary currency of trade.
Yeah,
it's just appreciated. So yes, it was a fad getting it to the point where we were on the gold as the currency of trade. It got overtaken by the dollar, got overtaken by the pound, and all of those kind of things.
Yeah,
and
by
then
individual currencies.
By individual fiat currencies. And guess where we are now yet again? We're back on gold.
Yeah.
But
I must have missed something. I meant the idea of Bitcoin. I totally agree. Yeah, gold will forever be that. I thought we were talking about Bitcoin and the idea of Bitcoin coming in and the idea of that becoming the next gold reserve or the next gold, and then having that just fizzle out. Because like, if I would, Jen's hit that perfectly on the head. NFTs. NFTs are still a thing-ish. But dude, they were huge at one point. NFTs was like, oh, this is the next multi-million-dollar thing. It fizzled out. Bitcoin seems to be holding. It seems to be testing time. But what are the chances that gold in Bitcoin in 5-10 years time is just going to fizzle out and gold's just going to hold victorious again?
I honestly think that Bitcoin right now is the only competitor for gold. I don't think that there's any individual currency, fiat currency, that is going to be able to fulfill the same role.
No,
as what
and I don't think it can, because an individual fiat currency means it's dependent on the of the country of type or the continent of type. For example, Europe being the euro, when it comes to having an individual fiat currency to try and compete with gold, when you think about it, gold isn't an individual country and currency. Yeah, it's an overall. Yeah, exactly. So
I'm saying
when you talk about it like that, then 100%, man. That you can't even begin to imagine how one fiat currency can remotely keep up and compete with gold, because it's all dependent on the strength of that individual country or potentially the continent.
I mean, any fiat currency strength is derived from its ability to trade. Anybody's ability to trade with it. Like the dollar only became as strong as it was because it was accepted as the world trade currency after the gold standard was stopped. That's the only reason why everybody was like, wow, the dollar got so strong, because that was what was accepted as the currency of trade. So you'd have to trade in dollar first before you traded anything else. And then from there on, you started getting other ones that attempted to come in, like for argument's sake, the Russia with their we will only trade, if you want to trade with us, you only buy the ruble. And it's like, okay, so if you want to trade with my country, you can only trade in this currency. That's why, like in South Africa, we have the rand, and the rand, you can only trade with the rand in South Africa, as an example. So you come here with your dollars. If you want to play around in South Africa and do whatever, you have to buy rand, because it's the only accepted currency of trade. There are other ones like the Botswana pula and all of those ones that the Namibian dollar and whatnot that have equivalent value, and you can still trade within those countries with those with the rand, and you can trade the pula in South Africa as well.
Yeah,
That kind of
it's the same in the UK, you know. Oh, there we go. We got that bullish move on gold. It's the same in the UK, you know. We got the Great British Pound, but then you know we've also got the Scottish Pound. You know, Scotland's got its own notes, so that's still valid tender.
But yeah, like I'm saying, the only argument that I have for this is that fiat currencies is based on the country of trade, and if people want to trade with that country, the currency will be strong. If you're forcing everybody in the world to trade with your currency or buy into your currency, then it's going to be strong. It's supply and demand. It's literally just
literally that. Yeah, literally that is basic supply and demand.
Where Bitcoin and gold is, let's call it decentralized, because it's not one country that's forcing you to buy its currency in order for you to trade in its country. You can buy gold. The price is in dollars, but that's because dollars is still the world currency trade, or the world trade currency. But let's say dollar falls away, any other currency can take over.
This is really interesting. First things first, good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning, chat. Yo, what's good, Evan? Good morning, bros. Good to see you in. Hope you're doing well. Congratulations, 600 and odd up, 600 quid up on your trade. I think you're trading with a 100k account. I'm pretty sure. Big congratulations on that, mate. Awesome start to the morning on gold. But this is really interesting from Bobby Fischer saying AI companies are growing fast, but it's fake growth. All that those companies are doing is passing money to each other, making the AI comps look strong, but according to many investors, it's fake wealth. This is really interesting because that's not the first time I'm hearing it. It's really
LJ spoke about it recently as well.
Yeah,
LJ and Dirk.
I just saw the group chat pop up on my screen.
Yeah, from
LJ.
This is exactly that, Bobby. LJ has spoken about it with Dirk regarding this bubble, where it's a ruse. We're showing the world that, oh look, this is investment, this is moving, this is how everything's going. But if you look at the companies in a nutshell, then you realize that they're just shifting money between each other. There's no actual growth. It's the illusion of growth.
And that's what it is. It's the illusion of growth. It's sort of like the fake it till you make it theory. It's the, we're gonna put the illusion of growth under you, so you think that we're strong. So then you're gonna start investing in us, and you're gonna start investing in us because you think we're strong, and then we're gonna repeat that cycle until we actually do become strong because you think we're strong because we're faking that we're strong. It's like that sort of strangely odd, toxic reinvestment circle,
Yeah, it almost, Nexus. There we go. Like MGN is saying, that this is the video by Gamers Nexus, or there is a video by Gamers Nexus that shows what they are doing with AI and its finances right now, and it's quite interesting. Yeah. I did not even think it's legal to do stuff like that. Technically, it's not. Technically, it's financial fraud. So, however, what are you going to do? Everybody's pushing for it. Yeah. It's going to be fraud once, let's say, for argument's sake, the American companies or the American government starts, being negatively impacted by it.
Yeah, exactly. The minute think about it this way, you get like little kids playing around in the playground, then you get the teachers watching over them. They're all sipping there, having their coffee, going, Johnny's playing with Billy. Billy's playing with Johnny. What are they doing? Oh, they're just hula hooping. Next minute, they're starting to throw stones at the windows. It's like, oh shit, now we got to step in. Now they're going to start doing stuff that can affect the adults. It's like, oh, when they're playing with stones and like tossing them around and throwing them at each other, okay, they may get hurt, but they'll learn. Let's just leave them to it. the minute they start throwing stones at the building, the minute they start throwing stones at the teachers, then they're going to be like, oh, we got to step in now because this is actually going to be a bit more of a real threat, you know. And until then, they don't really care, you know. So,
yeah, Harry is teasing Sally right now. He's pinching her leg. He's pinching her arm. Don't leave them to do. Next moment, Sally is actually throwing punches. Whoa!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, next minute, Sally's turning around and just knocked the tooth out.
Yeah, it's just like, it's illegal to do this, but when has illegality of something been a prevention? You know, like,
you know, the worst thing is,
something's illegal, people are still going to try and do it.
Yeah, it's the hypocrisy that's really annoying, because
yeah,
when you think about it, that's no different to what governments do anyway. Governments will break laws to achieve certain things. Oh yeah, MJ. It is, but the government has not only turned a blind eye to it, they have also invested in it by NVIDIA and Intel. Dude, literally that, you know, like, governments do invest in illegal activity, but then once they invest in illegal activity and it pays off, then they go, okay, we've got what we want out of it, now we're going to slam you.
I need to just pop off for a second. Will, give me...
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, no, 100%, man. It's one of these things that we can't control it. Yeah, Bobby, I like what you're saying here. If we do it, it's illegal. 100%, man. It's just one of those things. We're not big fish. We're the feeder fish feeding off the big sharks. If we get in the way, if we start eating the sharks' food, then the sharks are gonna start saying, "Hang on a minute, that's our food." It's just a really toxic sort of environment that unfortunately we have no control over. Sometimes it's a matter of bend over and take it up the tailpipe and put up with it. Also, just want to show you, I have entered in a gold long on the break and close of this candle here. Getting some big push up to the upside, which is nice. Sitting about $50 up. I was about $80 up. Ideally, if I can, I'd like to see this high here get taken. This would take me out for about $500. That would be super cool if we can do that. But we'll see. I kind of think we can get a break and retest. So I've just moved up onto the 50-minute, and we've had a beautiful 50-minute candle close. Part of me thinks now that we could have a break and retest of that. You just...
Quibus saying, gold did well, I am out. I am done. Well done, Quibus. Another positive day for you, my friend.
Great to see you, mate. Awesome stuff. Congratulations. There you go. So this is what I'm now looking at on the 15.
We're definitely seeing a lot of slowed momentum on EU, and GU is starting to attempt to push lower. I have to wait and see what it wants to do. But if GU starts pushing lower with some vigor, then I would want to get in on GU and EU. But that's only if we can start getting like real proper pushes going lower.
I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I'm trying to give my input on GU and EU at the moment, because I'm really struggling to see anything.
Yeah, it's Mondays, man. Mondays is a difficult trading day.
I'm Garfield. I'm Garfield, man. I hate Mondays. I love Mondays because I'm back in the office. I'm chatting to you guys. I'm like, yes, people, let's go. It's a Monday. The Mondays are like my Fridays. You know, it's like that. Yes, start of the week. You know, tomorrow's going to be a good day. Whereas like everyone's on a Friday, they're like, oh, Friday, yes. End of today is going to be the start of the weekend. I'm like that. I'm literally that, but for Mondays. Like Monday evening, I'm like, come on. Tuesday, that's where the trading's at. You know, that's where the markets are going to start, you know, coming in clutch. But I don't know. Gold's looking really nice, so that's what I do know.
Yeah, gold is doing gold things at the moment, and it's looking good. It is slowing at the moment, but at least we've broken.
Yeah. Literally,
we've wicked above that previous swing point.
Yeah, exactly that. At least we've broken higher.
And
Evan's
we
saying
haven't
about 950
completely sold off.
quid. Say again, mate.
And we haven't completely sold off from it, so it's good.
No, exactly. No, we're holding it, which is nice. About 950 quid took. Closed gold now. That's okay for me for today. Dude, that's $1,000 nearly, man. Or it's £1,000 up. Take that money and run, my man. That's awesome. Gold did well. I'm done. Well done, Cobus. That's sick. That's why sometimes it's called Black Monday. Yes, man. Literally.
It's dark, mate. It's dark times out here.
Yeah, literally that. I think we can get a break and retest. I think if we can hold here, move back down. If we can move down to 4067, I'll double up. And then... What would my TP look like if it was down here? Like $100 and $150, $142. Do I want? I mean, look, $142, $142. Still pretty good, you know. You're not going to argue with $100 odd bucks, are you?
No. I wouldn't argue with that.
That's not bad for
Infinity saying now Will can say drop base drop and rally base rally on gold. Last week he was struggling with it.
I know, dude. I have brain fart sometimes, and it is funny. It's funny. Sometimes I just can't say certain stuff. But yeah, I can say it properly now.
That looks good, mate. We'll see. It is slowing down heavily here, but gold being one of those assets where if it moves volumetrically in one direction after having attempted to push lower, in this case push higher, it tends to have very short-lived pullbacks and then continuations. So, but this is still assuming that there's that massive interest in buying gold right now and not that massive interest to kind of just hold gold at the moment instead of buying more. All waits to be seen. Yeah,
so I've just uploaded in the Discord what I wanted to see this morning at 7:30 on gold. It would have now hit my 2%.
Oh yeah.
So that was a 1 to 2 hour trade. So again, mate.
What stopped you?
I was in bed.
Oh, you were in bed. Okay. Fair.
Yeah, I was working from my phone in bed this morning.
Fair.
Yeah, so I didn't actually take the trade. No, got to be honest with yourself. Right, where did I take this trade from? I'm going to draw up on TradingView where I've taken this G from.
Did you want to take GU as well?
Sorry, I meant gold. Ignore me, I meant gold. Just looking at where my 2R trade on this one, but I got a really nice potential on 1.71R. I mean, if I look at my full TP, it's going to be a 5R trade. Like, I know what I'm risking, and it's like, oh yeah, $500 because I'm only risking like $100 odd bucks. No, I'm risking, if I have my discretionary TP, $150. So $150 to get $500. I gotta think about my risk to reward ratio, and I gotta think my R value, not just P&L. And I can't just look at this and go, oh yeah, this is a 5R trade. Or no, I can't look at this and go, oh, because I want $500, but when I think about it, I'm only risking $150. For me to get, $500 from 150 is a 5R trade. It's just not going to be what I want. It's
yeah.
not highly improbable. It's highly probable, but at the same time, it's one of those where I'd rather just think, okay, I'll take 100, $200. You know, if I can get a 2-hour trade, that'd be very nice. But we're pulling back down now, so I could get a re-entry now, which would be nice if I can get that break and close. I'm gonna put. Where would I want my break and close to be? A 15-minute break and close. There we go. The only frustrating thing is the break and close is almost identical to where my initial entry was. So it's like, I may as well have just had one order in. But I don't know, we'll see. Look, I'm marking it out.
I mean, we can wait for it to move.
Yeah, exactly. I've put the pending on anyway, so we'll see how it goes. And again, this is going to be the same stop, same TP. It's going to be a 1 to 2 hour TP though, I think.
Gold now behave like Donald Trump. Yeah, up down, up down, up down. Infinity, I'm sure Will is not like the guy in stream who just got offended by veg and non-veg jokes.
What do you mean, man? I'm super offended right now. I hate you.
Yeah, he's always offended. Evan asking
always offended. Not bad, man. I'm joking. I'm not offended, guys. This is all banter. You know, we love each other, really. Again, like someone in chat during the Fiverr stream had a massive go at me for basically not taking it well when Rich was ripping into me, and then I ripped into Rich.
Called you a hypocrite, I remember.
Yeah. He was like, dude, you're such a hypocrite. Like, you rip into Rich all the time. And I was like, no, man, like,
this is like, you guys just don't get it.
I was like, guys, like, I'm not actually having a go at Rich. I'm not actually on the defensive. You know, this is a joke. I'm pretending to be on the defensive. Me and Rich, you know, we're great mates, man. We love each other. We're not like that.
Yes, like people, like they see this and then they think, oh, Will is being an asshole.
They hate each other.
Defend Rich, and it's just like, guys, this is literally just us doing our shit.
Yeah, this is just banter, man. You know, but some people didn't quite understand that, but
it's like those.
I mean, it was cute though. People did defend Rich. And
you can see that there's some loyalists. The Will loyalists and the Rich loyalists.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
But the thing is, it's like two kids in at school on the playground. You know, they're going like they're roughing each other up. But then when lunch comes around, they're sitting next to each other, like sharing their meal and talking crap together. You know, it's just like,
yeah, mate, literally that.
It's not serious at all.
Yeah, it's like no different to me and my brother as well. Like me and my brother, we'll piss about. And we'll have fun, and then like next minute we'll tell each other we hate each other. We'll tell each other go away, and you know we're horrible to each other. And then about 10 minutes later, we're sharing food.
Yeah, that's how it should be. That's how brothers are.
Exactly, man. And that's what you get in the Apex Brotherhood. You know, in the Apex Brotherhood, we're brothers. You know, we're all family. Even if you're a woman, it's Apex Brotherhood because it's the relationship that me and my brother have. Not because it's only men. You know, if you're a woman coming into the Apex Brotherhood, then you're no less welcome than anyone else.
Agreed.
Okay, I've just been tapped into my break and retest. Okay. $30. Oh.
Me and my friends throwing hands to each other. Yeah. That's how it goes.
Yeah, 100%, man. As long as you boys would genuinely look after each other as well. You know, my thing is, like, if you're gonna throw hands with each other, make sure you're willing to look after each other as well. Like, there's no one. Like my brother, for example, I'd argue with him and I'd ruffle, like tussle with him, like scrap with him. But best believe if he was ever in danger, like no one's touching him. You know, and it's the same with you guys. You know, like Rich, for example. If we were all on a night out, like me and Rich may argue, for example. I say, "Oh, Rich, no, shut up, man, go away. I don't like you anymore. I hate you." And then, like, if I saw Rich in trouble, I'd be like, "Well, hang on a minute, that's my fucking brother." Like, you know, that's
Yeah, I'll be the first one to your defense, mate.
exactly.
That's how it works. Like, I'm allowed to talk shit about you.
Yeah,
Someone else talks shit about
exactly.
you. Someone else talks
Yeah,
shit about
100%.
you. I'm going to come to your defense. It's that, like, that connection, that brotherhood. It's like,
Yeah.
we understand each other. We understand it's banter. We understand that it's with the intention of, you know, creating a playful atmosphere, or, you know, kind of like just pushing each other a little bit. But if there's ever, like, real people that just don't know you, and then they come out and they start, like, talking shit and, like, really wanting to do something to you, it's just like, dude, no, you don't.
Well, yeah, man. But yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's like, who do you think you are? It's like, no, that's my job. I can do that. You don't know him enough to do that yet.
Yeah, nobody's allowed to beat my wife. Only anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Only I can. What was it? Where was I going with that? Yeah, man, 100%. Okay, gold's trying to push up now, which is quite nice. I really want to see it break and close above this high.
Where was your entry point? 68.
I got 4068, 4067.
You know what, mate? I think if we're gonna start pushing, we'll probably not go lower than 460.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't think that we will push lower than 460 just yet. Looks good. It's moving nicely. We had a rally base candle. If this candle closes as a bullish candle, then it will most probably continue rallying. It's probably not going to be the most, like, volumetric movement, but it's gonna slowly find its way towards 4084. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I can get a 2% overall, so what do I need for that? Okay,
Or maybe 4080 first, I think. Maybe 4080 is the first area. Yeah.
Okay, but for me to get a 2R risk reward overall across these trades, I need to have my TP here.
For both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, a 2R trade is great.
But that's 1R each, if that makes sense.
So, yeah, but I mean, it's like it's a 1-to-1.
Yeah. So yeah, 1-to-1 across two trades. If I wanted a 4R trade, which would be a 1-to-2,
it'll have to be above that other box.
It would be, yeah. I'd be looking a little bit more
between the top box and the yellow line, I think.
Yeah. If I wanted to, yeah, I'd be looking around about here-ish. That's a 1-to-2, so a 1-to-4. So I'm just going to choose the 1-to-2 across both. I think that's the most probable. Again, my stop loss is at the low here. However, my hard stop loss is down here.
Yeah.
So two different types of stop losses, but I've broken that down. I've gone into that. However, we have run out of time, and I shall let you know in the Discord. So if you want to know how these trades get on, get yourself in the Discord, and I will let you know. Link is in the description below, so get yourselves in there. In fact, all the links are in the description below. So we got Instagram,
they are. All of them.
We got the website, we got the Discord. So get yourself in the Discord. I'll keep you updated with how these trades are getting on. I didn't take this trade, which is annoying, but I'll keep it drawn. There we go. And yeah, we'll see you guys at 11:30 UK time in the Fivers live stream.
All right, guys. Everybody have a crazy good day. For those of you who are not going to be in the Fiverr stream, you can see us tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm going to be scheduling the rest of this week's live streams during the day, so keep an eye out for those for tomorrow. All right, guys. Everybody have a really good day. Make sure that you stay away from red folder news, especially tomorrow. Be careful. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Cheers.